7-3. 7-3 is about graphing linear functions. So the first thing we need to talk about are two vocabulary terms. We have linear equations, okay, linear equations versus a linear function. All right. In order to understand this lesson, you kind of have to understand these two differences. A linear equation is going to be the ordered pair that you get from solving a problem. The equation is called the linear equation. So, this here is going to be an equation that gives you an answer set up as an XY answer. You get an XY answer, okay? The linear function is the equation, it's the actual answers that you get graphed. So you're going to graph all of those XY answers that you get. That graph is the function. The equation is what you use to solve it. Okay, so let's look at graphing some linear functions using the equation. So here we go. Now you remember from your previous lesson that we have the input-output rule chart. Okay, same kind of situation this time. Here is our equation that we're going to use. Okay, so the first step to do is to make the table. So we have our input. We have our rule, we have our output, and now we have an extra section, our ordered pair. Okay, so hopefully your graph's a little nicer than mine. It's kind of hard to draw a graph on these tablets. Alrighty, here we go. So I will use 0, 1, -1 as my input. This time they didn't give me inputs to use, so I get to pick my own. When that happens, try to stick to very small numbers. You don't want to have something so huge that you are solving the math problem all day. So keep it simple. I am going to pick 0, 1, and always have at least one negative answer, so -1. Okay, again, my rule here is going to be the 4x minus 1, so I'm going to do 4 times 0 minus 1. Well, I know 4 times 0 is going to give me 0, which would be 0 take away 1, which is going to equal -1. Now, my ordered pair answer is going to be my x and y. If you remember, x, y. So what was my x answer? My x answer was 0. What was my y answer? My y answer was -1. So that creates an ordered pair of 0, -1. Now let's do the next one. Okay, now I'm going to do the positive 1. So I'm going to do 4 times 1 minus 1. Well, I know that's 4 minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is going to give me 3. My ordered pair here, again, is 1. It's going to be your input. And then your output of y, which is 3. And that's it. Now let's do my last value. So I'm going to do 4 times -1 minus 1. Now I know that this is 4 times 1, which is going to give me 4. A positive and a negative equal a negative, and then I'm subtracting 1. When they have the same signs, we keep the sign and we add, which is going to be 4 plus 1, which is 5, and I'm keeping the sign of the negative. So my ordered pair here is -1, -5. Now when I go to graph this, let's see if I get a actual function. So let me go ahead and insert my picture real fast. Let's see if I can make that just a wee bigger. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this out. First one I'm going to get is 0, negative 1, which is here. Then I'm going to get 1, 3, which is up here. And then I'm going to get negative 1, negative 5, which is here. Okay? I'm going to try and draw a straight line as much as possible on this tablet. I prefer you guys to use rulers. Alright. Did I create a function? If you remember from the previous lesson, if I do the vertical line test, at any point I can draw vertical lines. Does it only hit the graph once? So this is yes. It is a true linear function. You want to remember that not all linear equations describe the function, so which means not all of these will give me a perfect linear function. It won't give me a graph that I can do the vertical line test to. This may give me a graph where the graph circles or it goes in a curve, and either one of these would not work for a linear function. Also, you want to know that a straight line, if you should graph and your graph comes out to a perfect straight line, that does not qualify as a function because, again, if you did the vertical line test, it would be right on top of it. So it would hit that line all the way down. It would hit it more than once. So vertical line graphs, if you get something that looks like this where you graph it out and it comes straight out like that, that is not a function. Okay, so let's try another one. I'm going to erase all this so I don't lose my graph. Okay, here we go. Alright, almost done there. Here we go. So, our next equation is going to be y equals 3x plus 1. Okay, again, you have your input, your rule, your output, your ordered pair. Alright, so I'm going to pick, again, easy values. So let me finish drawing this up here real quick. My tablet kind of got stuck for a second there. Sorry for the delay. Alright, so again, I'm going to pick the same values I did last time, keeping it simple. Don't make it hard. But you want at least one negative value. Okay, let's go ahead and solve this out. 3 times 0. Wow, let me try that again. My pen just got completely stuck. Let's try that again as it erases half my graph. That's okay. We can fix that. Alright, now we're back in the game. Here we go. 3 times 0 plus 1. Well, 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is going to give me 1, giving me the answer of 0, 1. Okay, come over here. Let's graph that. 0, 1. There we go. Alright, let's do the next one. We have 3 times 1 plus 1. 3 times 1 is going to give me 3. 3 plus 1 is going to give me 4, giving me the ordered pair of 1, 4. So let's come over here and do that. We have 1. We go up to 4. There's that one. Alright, let's do the last one here with the negative. We have 3 times negative 1 plus 1. 3 times negative 1 is going to give me negative 3. I'm adding 1, opposite sign, so we subtract, giving me a 2, and keeping the sign of the larger value, which is the 3, keeping it at negative 2. My ordered pair is negative 1, negative 2. So let me go over negative 1, negative 2, right there. Now you can easily see that, okay, if I had a ruler, and I connected those, you would get a straight line. Hopefully yours is much better than that. So yes, this is a true linear function. Alright, let's try one that, let's see. I don't have one to show you that would not be a linear function. Let's just try one with different inputs and see if maybe that helps a couple of you. And this will be my last example here. Okay, again, let me just erase this so I don't lose my graph. All right, here's the equation this time. The equation this time is going to be y equals 7x plus 21. Now you'll notice why really fast, why you want to keep these numbers small, because that 21 can get kind of scary if you have really big values being added or multiplied, to 7. So here we go. We have input, rule, output, ordered pair. All right, my graphs are getting a little better. All right, 0, 2, hello. 4, and just for fun, I'm going to throw in a -1, okay? Just so we always have that one negative value. And let's see what we get with that. All right, so here we go. 7 times 0 plus 21. I know that 7 times 0 is 0, plus 21 is going to give me 21, giving me the ordered pair of 0, 21. All right, next one we have 2. We have 7 times 2 plus 21. That's going to give me 14. 14 plus 21 is going to give me 35. So we have 2 and 35. And here we go. 7 times 4. Now you see why we pick small numbers, so your graph doesn't have to be monstrous. 21. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 21 is going to give me 49. Okay, so we have 4 and 49. Now, of course, I'm not going to graph this because you can easily see that my graph is way too small, but you can count by 2s like my graph is. If you notice, most of these are ending in 2s, but you'll notice we have some odd values in there too. So as long as you leave a space available for the odd value, then your graph will be fine. All right, let's do the last one. We have 7 times -1 plus 21. That's going to give me -7 plus 21. All right, and I'm going to work this one out because I don't want to go too fast here and people don't understand how I got this answer. When you have two different signs, you subtract. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 21 on top and take away the 7. Okay? And just like basic math, we're going to borrow. That becomes a 1. That becomes a 7. 11. Now you're doing 11 take away 7, which is going to give me 4. Bring down the 1. Okay? Now some of you knew that already. Now, my answer is 14. You look at the larger value. Which number is larger, 21 or 7? Well, 21 technically is larger. We're going to keep the positive sign with that. So it's going to be a positive 14. So I just wanted to work that one out with you because I haven't done that on any of the other ones, and I didn't want anybody forgetting how to do that. Now I would take these values and graph them, and this answer here would be a yes for the function. So you can practice graphing that one at home. Okay, hopefully this helps you for your homework.